Welcome! In this video, I'm going to talk about the weather generator for Earthcrawl that I've been building. So, if you look at the Earthcrawl Ashcan Edition 1, you'll see, for weather, you'll see that we have background contamination. That's the daily levels of chemical, biological, and radiation, just contamination floating through the area. And at the beginning of each game session, you roll this once, and it applies for the rest of the time. And then we go to it's kind of an initial, think of it as temperate forest weather hex flower. And this is really a table with a memory. So I'm going to show you how this works in a minute, but you start in the beginning, or in the middle, and you roll a 2d6, and then you move in the direction the result indicates. And that gives you the weather for the day. And then on the side here, we have a weather hex flower table that explains to you what that weather means. And at the same time that you're rolling weather, you are also rolling baseline temperature. And so based on the month that you're on the surface of the planet, and down here in the lower right-hand corner, we have a deviation from standard temperature. And for here, I've got averages for Buffalo, New York as the working for this because of an adventure that I'm working on, and I'm using this in that adventure. So, for instance, if we were running this in July, the high would be about 60 degrees in Earthcrawl time, not today. And you would deviate from there. And then it's always possible to get biological, chemical, or radiation criticals. And so for the first time, I've included those in a publication as well. So it's all easily referenced right here. And this, again, is Ashcan number 1 for edition number 1 for weather. So this will be going out to Patreon members who subscribe at the physical level later this week. In the meantime, what I thought I would do is just take you through working through a week's worth of weather so you could see what it was kind of like. It's quick, it's easy, and it uses 2d6 only. I've got a little weather table here already constructed, and so this is something you could do ahead of time, or you could do it on the fly. So again, we begin in the center, right? So in the center of the hex flower, and this is overcast and rainy or light rain. So it's a light, constant drizzle falls, increased fumble ranges from 1 to 2. This is where you begin when you roll on this, but this is not where we're going to start the wake of weather. We're going to deviate from that, and we're going to deviate in 7, which is we're going to deviate straight down. So that's day 1, okay? And that takes us to, I think that's windy cloud with rain. Yeah, cloud, wind, and rain. And on that we roll an additional D3 twice. So I got a 2 and a 2. So it's moderate clouds, moderate winds, and heavy and moderate rain. So we have moderate winds, moderate rain on our first day. And let's say we are working in the month of June. The temperature is 2 degrees cooler, so our temperature starts out at 58 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's our first day. Okay, so we looked that up, and basically, we have some. There's an increased fumble chance. There's increased difficulties to climbing checks and things like that. But also, because the rain is fairly moderate, it knocks down the radiation and chemical-based background, affecting our background contamination table for that day. So that's the weather for the first day, and we would just roll through that. And on the second day, what happens? We roll 3, okay? And so on a 3, we move in this direction. So we're going to go to here for day 2. All right, and suddenly it is on day 3, or on day 2, it is cloudy and windy. All right, it is overcast with light wind. And it is 2 degrees from where up from where it was yesterday, so it is now 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay. So no other modifiers there. On day 3, we roll an 8. All right, and what do? We head right back down to here. So that's day 3. We've got windy, cloudy, and rainy again. We have light wind, but we have heavy rain. Okay, and it is 2 degrees cooler, so it's 58 degrees for the day. Heavy rain, actually, rain beats down mercilessly in sheets, increase fumble ranges to 1 to 4, reduce normal vision by half, +7 to climb checks, -5 to radiation and chemical-based background contamination checks, to the difficulty because it's knocking it down out of the air, reduce flying speeds to half normal, and that would apply to things like robots and stuff. Okay, so that's day 3. Let's go to day 4 and see what day 4 looks like. We rolled 9 for day 4, which takes us again down this direction. So here we come down to here. Okay, and that's day 4. And this is thunderstorms or rainstorms. All right, and it is 2 degrees warmer, so sitting right about 58 to 60 degrees. Very consistent. Here, rain, darkened skies, and thunder and lightning are on full display. Fumble ranges now 1 to 4 include falling prone whenever you fumble. -1 die to all action dice when you're working out in the storm. Reduce normal vision ranges to 1/4 because of the sheeting rain. +10 DC to climbing checks. -8 DC to radiation or chemical-based background contamination checks. Flying is not possible in this weather. After this weather ends, re-roll on background contamination even in the middle of a session. So we would re-roll that once we're done with this heavy storm. Let's see where we go from here. We get an 8. Now an 8 would take us off the table, and so what happens when you go off the table is you go off and back on in the same row that you're moving through. Okay, so day 5, the storm ends, okay? And it is sunny, then cloudy, okay? It is also 5 degrees cooler than it was the previous day, so it's 55 degrees Fahrenheit. And we would now re-roll that background contamination check to see what we got for the day, or for the rest of the session. If we're going to go ahead and go to day 6 now. All right, look at this. We're moving in one direction consistently here. On day 6, we're back down to the same cell we were on for day 2, which is cloudy and windy. All right, and overcast. How fast is the wind? It's a moderate wind. And it is 2 degrees warmer, so the high for that day is 57 degrees Fahrenheit. All right, and then we rolled a 4. So a 4 takes us down this direction. So day 7 is going to be here. No change in temperature. And it is just cloudy. An overcast day, otherwise peaceful and quiet. Improvisation operates at half again distance. Because it's overcast, improvisation can work better because it doesn't have the UV coming in from the sun and stuff. Although UV gets through clouds, high sun modifies it. All right, so this is just an overcast day. And it's no modifier, so it sticks to around 57 degrees Fahrenheit. So this is a week's worth of weather for the weather generator. That's how it works. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. But that was pretty fun to roll on.